All right, number 8.
Number 8 on the list is another guy who's still competing in the sport. It's Noah Olson. This year will be his 8th year competing at the games. In the 7 previous years that he's competed, he's had 1 podium finish. That was second place in 2019, and his 2 best finishes at the game were the last 2 years, where he took 4th and 2nd. And we just talked about how those last 2 years are. It's a little bit difficult to know what to do with him relative to anything else. Specifically, if you're comparing him to a guy like Brent Fikowski, and you look at the years that Fikowski had his best finishes, he beat Noah all 3 of those years. Noah was 2 spaces behind him in both 2018 and 2017, and was about 10 spots behind him in 2016. Noah's been to the games a couple more times than Brent, so he has that going for him. He does not compare to Brent really in terms of the caliber, like the event wins. He's only got 2 event wins. They were both in the last 2 years, handstand hold in stage 1 of the games, and Mary, which obviously had that epic performance against Matt Fraser. He was able to win that. But it's hard to argue with 6 top 8 finishes. 5 top 8 finishes in the 7 years he's competed, and he only had 1 finish outside of. No, I had that right. 6 top 8 finishes in 7 years, and his worst finish was 15th. So it's consistency over time here that kind of edges him up ahead of Brent for me, and it's just barely. I mean, if Brent beats Noah this year at the games, I would at least flip them on this list. But for the time being, even though the last 2 years were kind of different, Noah navigated those seasons much better than Brent did, and capitalized on the opportunities that were there. Those things are out of the athlete's control, and so we can't completely discount them when we're looking at what they were able to do. That's part of their competitive history. Noah was great each of the last 2 years, and so he comes in at 8, right above Brent. But I think for both of them, this year is really big in terms of how that might settle out going forward.
When you say he's been in 8 games, has he been in? Does that include this year?
Yeah, 8 is including this year. And so of the 7 previous years, he's been inside the top 8 6 of those 7 times.
And is this the 15th year of the CrossFit Games?
Yeah.
It's remarkable to think that Noah Olson has been in more than half the games in the history of the CrossFit Games. That's pretty freaking impressive.
It is.
Yeah, and he's had a really cool growth in his career. I don't know. I think Noah's I like Noah's career a lot, and I know that's not like a criteria, but I think 8th is a good start for him. I'd like to see him do better this year than he did last year.
What would a win do? What if he wins the CrossFit Games this year, Brian?
Yeah, if he wins the games this year, well, let's. Then he'll definitely move up. I mean, a championship holds a lot of weight, and you'll see some of the guys that are just ahead of him currently that I think it would be pretty fair to move him ahead of if he were to win this year.
I like it how we can see Ryan's browser. I wish there was one of the tabs said Pornhub or something, like he accidentally left something on or.
Okay.
Okay, go on. Number 7.
What if it was that, but then the search was your name, Sevan?
All right. So
wait, go back. This is a good one.